not worried about splatters back here because simply it will not matter. There's another leaf. It's fall, everybody. Welcome to Okie Woodsman here. We have a different kind of project. If you've been following the channel any time, you know that my deck was done out of sawmilled lumber from this property with trees that we fell from this property with my Frontier sawmill, my OS 27. My wife and I, we took all this rough sawn lumber, planed it down, routed the edge, and all of the frame is all built out of burned pine, like Shishugibon or Yakasugi style pine, and all of the structure, 2x6s, 2x8s, 6x6s, everything. And that stuff, we burned it, and then we also put like a coat on it to try to help fight against rot as well. Now the top of the deck, one of the things that we wanted to accomplish is we wanted to be able to have more of a natural finish. We didn't want to paint it, use those types of stains that you get at the big box stores, or they're so commonly sold for decks, where it's literally, they call it stain, but to me it applies more like paint, and you kind of have to apply the same rules as paint, meaning when it starts peeling or whatever, because it peels, right? It starts flaking, and you have to sand and do all this nonsense for an outdoor structure. Now, granted, some of those might last a little bit longer. I don't know the exact specs. I know they all claim all sorts of things, but real world versus what happens, you know, I don't know. But I will say this, after a lot of research, we went ahead and went with a ready seal product. The reason why we did that is because it's easy. It's just flat out easy. You don't have to, you know, when you need to freshen it up. This was ready sealed about a year ago. We only did one coat. That was our bad. We should have done, it's recommended to do like 2 or 3, but we just did one coat. We were in a hurry. And so what I did yesterday is I went ahead and pressure washed this off, and that's all I got to do. And I'm going to go ahead and apply Ready Seal again. I'm just going to roll it on. I'm going to walk on it as I'm doing it. I'm going to step through it as I do it. And that's the beauty of it. If it rains tomorrow or if it rains later tonight, I'm not going to have an issue. Another beautiful thing is pine straw comes off of my trees all the time, because as you can see, I've got trees all around me. But I've got trees and pine straw everywhere coming down. Now, on my deck surface, there is these things that are going to be falling the whole time, I'm going to be walking through them. I'm going to blow this off first. I did pressure wash it yesterday, but these will be falling the entire time. And if I was using more of like a paint type product, that wouldn't fly. This is a work in progress. I honestly hammered my planer when doing it. That's why this is not done. I hammered it. My DeWalt planer took a beating. And so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and blow this off, and we're gonna go ahead and put some Ready Seal on here, and I'm gonna show you just how easy this goes. My plan is to do 2 coats. I just wanna soak this thing real good. This is the tools that we're gonna use. That's been stored in my shed. I just shook it up a bit. Be blowing off the deck before we go ahead and start rolling this stuff on. And I'm just gonna simply use this somewhat dirty, honestly, pan. I've rinsed it out, but it's not pristine. But again, with this product, it is not critical. This is not going to be the recommended method, I'm sure, for Ready Seal, but I'm gonna show you the flexibility of this. Remember, this is not adhering to the surface, it's soaking in and absorbing. It is absorbing into the wood. That's why this is a unique product. Just for you to know, see that goof proof there? I can stand by that, and this is gonna show that process today. This is the natural light oak on, this is like a, closest thing probably for most of you would be like a loblolly pine. We technically have a short leaf pine out here. And so this is what it will look like on a deck that has been weathered a little bit with just a simple light pressure washing. Word of warning here, this is a little bit difficult to find sometimes. My local hardware store, actually where I buy my Husqvarna saws, did have it. They only had the 1 gallon containers, and I went through like 5 of them when we were doing the process. We bought everything they had, and then I went on Amazon and purchased this. If you read the reviews on Amazon, you're gonna see, you know, a lot of people happy with the product, but very critical of the shipping. I'm not even sure if it's still available on Amazon, but the shipping is as bad as all those people claim. It is bad, okay? And the thing is it literally was in a cardboard box, a large cardboard box, not even close to an actual sized box, and it was loose in there. And this thing was dented. I mean, it was dented. That side dent is from shipping. I'm telling you, I don't know how they shipped that stuff. It had, if I remember right, there might have been a bag on it. I've got pictures of it. I'll try to find them if I can. Totally crazy. I mean, it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen shipped. I mean, can you imagine 5 gallons of fluid popping on a UPS truck? Already have had pine straw fall down on the deck, so this is going to be one of those things. So the plan is just simply to dump this material into the pan and get at it. I just blew this deck off. Pine straw is going to be falling as I go. This product will not be impacted by it because, well, we just know, because last time we did it, you couldn't see any, that stuff doesn't stick. I've already shaken this up a little bit. I'm going to give it another shake. All right, let's pour it out. We're going to be using quite a bit, and I know it. Again, not worried about splatters back here, because simply it will not matter. I can assure you. It's one of those things you don't necessarily look forward to doing, but as I get started, hopefully it won't be too bad. Oh my gosh, awesome. I'm gonna be generous. I want this stuff to soak in down the sides and everything. Again, this is not a critical process. It's just, I'm gonna walk over it. It's not gonna hurt it. going to be very, very, very generous with it. We're supposed to have rain tomorrow and the next day, so I wanted to go ahead and get this done. And I've got a little bit of spills here. What I'm going to do is just kind of roll them out. Not important. This spill here, this arc, you will not see it when I get done. It won't be an issue. It's going to be slick up here, so I'm going to have to be careful. Some of this wood is very, very porous. I think honestly might be slightly on the punky side, some of it, or maybe it's just mostly sapwood. So I'm gonna really focus on getting a lot of. If the wood soaks it up, I'm gonna give it to it because I want this to last as long as possible. We have a lot of work into this. Not a lot of money, but we have a lot of work into it. Sawmilling it, milling it. I mean, there's a lot. My deck is not perfect. I'm not a professional. I built this house with my family. It's not weak. It's just not perfect. Okay, we do everything on our own as much as we can, and we learn along the way. And I'm very, 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 very pleased with this product. I'm not getting paid. This is just a product I experienced, that I researched. I do a lot of research before I use something, and I'm happy I settled on this product. We almost went and bought the regular stuff, and I'm so glad we didn't. Another way you can do this is you can put it in like a garden sprayer or like a chemical type sprayer or something. People do that. I want to say Outdoors with the Morgans did that on their wood shed, firewood shed. I'm not too worried about even coats because whatever doesn't dry will it's not going to make it darker. It's not like a stain that, like a Minwax type stain that you'd put in your on your furniture where you have to have it perfectly even. This is not that. Which makes it perfect for this outdoor application, right? Where I just want to slop this on. In reality, what I could do, if I were a responsible homeowner, I could go ahead and apply this stuff. I could apply this stuff and then maybe give it a quick wash and apply it later, mid-season or something, or, you know, I don't remember what the exact recommendations are, but if I did it more often, I did have a little bit of green growing on my boards, and I knew that was about time. I needed to resolve this before my wood was eaten up. And again, this is not per the manufacturer's recommendation per se. If you go on their website, they'll tell you how they recommend doing it. Exactly. Every manufacturer has a specific way that they say should be done. We all know that. But this is not really a how-to video. This is a how it can be done in the real world video when you have a limit, when you're not going to take vacation to do a little bit of maintenance on your house, right? I'm a kind of a person that does the work myself, but I also don't have unlimited time to do everything. As you know, if you watch me normally, I do a lot of other stuff. My boys and I are building a tree house for them. We've do a lot of chainsaw stuff. Most of that's on a donation basis. We just help out people we see in need, making video content at the same time. We just want to help people in need in our local area. I've lived a lot of my life just thinking about me, thinking about our needs, and I started cutting with the saw a lot for myself personally, and sometimes even at work in the past. And I realized, you know what? Majority of people do not have the knowledge and the skill and the equipment it takes to do this stuff. So that's how Okie Woodsman came about. Sharing what we know how to do. Much of it chainsaw related, woods related here on our property. But then other, we try to get out there and contribute to the needs of our local community as well. Look at this, I'm walking right on the stuff I just did. You can't do that with most stains, everybody, that you go to Lowe's with, that you go pick up at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's just not gonna happen. Now this right here, you'll see some footprints. They will disappear. I've done this before, this is not the first time. And we're going over it again with another coat. Remember that? Oh, it's one slick thing though, I can tell you that. That is one thing. I've gotta make sure when I'm walking near my edges that I am not going to slip off. Good thing my deck is level, right? Might slip right off if it wasn't. All right. If you didn't know, I am from California. I moved out of that place and quite some time ago now. But I am originally from there. I spent my first 21 years in Southern California. I'm going to have a unique set of experiences. That's why my name is not Okie, like the traditional Okie, because I'm not technically an Okie. I've lived here for quite some time, like 16 years or so. Somewhere around there. But I'm also not a traditional Okie. I just have oak woods and I live in Oklahoma, so that's where the name came from. I don't think I've ever shared that on the channel before. My stairs are temporary too, everybody. We're kind of figuring this out. We had no drawings. We just did this. We just did this. I mean, I did draw out a little bit dimensionally for the deck, but like I said, we just did this mostly. It's not drawn up by an engineer or nothing, or anything, I should say. I need to do an overhang on this deck because we get water that comes in underneath our door because the water splashes on the threshold, because we don't have gutters or anything either. If you design your own house and you're on a budget, I would highly recommend, you know, I know barn dominiums are a real popular thing and all that, post frame structures. Anyway, I would definitely recommend some sort of gable over your door, over your exterior doors. My sliding glass door is no issue. It really is not an issue. I really need to move those stairs. We're gonna build a lower deck below this. I'm expecting that I'll have some people that don't follow the channel ream me for the way I'm doing this. Listen, this is the deal. I know you might do it different, but I can tell you this right now. Sometimes if you don't fudge a little bit on your own projects when you're in a little bit of a bind time-wise or financially, you're just not gonna get it done. That's something for some of you to realize. How many people sit and think about the right way of doing something instead of just getting it done, right? There's a right way to do it, of course. There's the perfect way. There's oftentimes the expensive way. Sometimes there's not a correlation between doing it right and cost. And yes, there's that argument of if you do it right, it'll last longer. That's a potential. But also keep in mind, I've been paralyzed in the past about trying to do something so perfectly that I don't end up doing it. And this is one of those circumstances, right? Had I not built this deck until I could afford to put a nice metal hand railing in here, I kind of want to weld my own hand railing, everybody. That's the truth. I want to do it. Am I a welder? No. I just want to do it. had I waited till everything was absolutely optimal, we would have simply never built our home. And I think my family and I, yes, it is frustrating to have half-done projects or three-quarter done projects, but this is the thing. We also have the satisfaction of having done it. And frankly, we built this in 2020. Everyone knows if you did a project or wanted to do a project in 2020, the cost of doing things was insane. We had to do this on our own. Oh, there's that pine straw, just fell on my hat and landed in my bucket, my deal. Anyway, the cost was insane, right? And it was very hard to know what to even budget for things. And so we just did everything as affordably as we could. If you notice, I don't have wood in here yet. I'm gonna rip down some boards. I flashed that. My mind thinking, man, I don't want to penetrate that with screws. I'm just gonna have to penetrate that with screws, everybody. That's not what my intention was, but this is just how the dimensions laid out. I wanted to have this full board on this edge here. It's nice. I did a string line down through here and it was beautiful, and it just so happens that I have an unfortunate gap back there, so I've got to fill that somehow. And that's why it's not done, is because I don't want to, this is talking about that overthinking thing. I don't want to put screws through that shield, so I just haven't done it. Time to take it back around to the other side. I'm gonna start back on the end, and we're gonna go ahead and do this again. So we're only 33 minutes in on this entire video. Boy, that is slick, everybody. If you do it this way, watch your footing. All right, so let's take a look. Ooh-wee. Oh, look at that, see? Got a leaf right there on the ground. So here's this deck. This is that natural, refer to what I said earlier, and I think natural light oak on this. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and slop another coat on here. You can see this, like this board right here, it really absorbed it a lot. I think the better the quality of the wood, guys, I think it, like the stuff where it has not seeped in there real good, that is the more dense wood. It's the wood with more resin. And this, I think, is more sapwood here. And these boards will probably be the first to rot. That's my assumption. That is my assumption. I'm gonna go ahead and set up the camera here again. With Ready Seal, you don't need to worry about a leaf falling down on your freshly stained deck. It's not gonna hurt a darn thing. We'll kick it off and we'll keep going on our merry way. Great product, everybody, for this. This is perfect. I got everything all done. 2, maybe close to 3 coats, honestly. Wherever the boards soaked it up real well, I just kept going over it. I had to stop though at some point, and then I kept running the roller over where it was kind of puddling to try to spread that out, and no sense in letting it set there on top of the wood. But I went ahead and did this, and as you can see, it's drying. And like I said at the beginning, the leaves and little bits falling off onto it are not going to impact it one bit. It won't hurt it. It doesn't need to skin over. It's just going to dry and soak in, absorb into the wood. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a comment, or there's a lot of great videos on YouTube about this stuff. And that's where I learned about it. And so I'm super thankful for using the Ready Seal product on this. I know this sounds like a sponsored video, but anytime that I find something that I love, picking out some pine branches out of my deck there. Anytime I find something that I like, okay, that makes my life easier, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about it, because that's how I make my informed buying decisions, is by listening to other people's testimonies about how something went for them. So everybody, thanks for watching, and make sure you let me know you're here if this helped you out, okay? If you have any tips for myself or anyone else watching, just let us know. Just let us know, because it really helps. It just helps the whole community out. So thank you for watching, Okie Woodsman, and I'll see you on the next one.